All started where I used to run upstairs, all the way to the top, think nothing of it. I was going halfway up and I was like stopping, out of breath. Then I started getting little bruises over. I thought, where'd they come from? I haven't bumped into anything. Then when I was at work, people were saying, you look white, you're yellow, you're grey. I was getting worried then. So I went to see the doctor and he explained I was feeling tired, bruises, colour. He said, we'll take some blood tests and I want to see you tomorrow, regardless. So we goes to bed, 1:30 in the morning, telephone rings. Path labs here, we think you need a blood transfusion. When shall I come in? The ambulance is on its way. So they put me on the side ward to stop me getting infections. Doctor come in, he said, you've got leukemia.
I was watching the telly and T Margot came up. They were looking for a donor for her, and that's how I first heard about donating, and that's what sort of drew me to it. Me and my husband went online and they sent us swab packs in the post. We swabbed in our mouths, sent them off, never thought anything more of it. And then in March 2015, that was when I got the phone call to say I was a possible match for somebody.
I started deteriorating. I was getting blood transfusions, platelets, nearly every other day. And it was like this for most of my treatments. But what they did say at Newcastle Freeman's was, you've got two brothers, we can test them for a match. So as the time comes, there weren't a match. I was like, right, don't give up, there must be a match out there. Then I got to a really bad stage where my platelets were down to 1, which caused bleeding on my brain, and I had to go to Newcastle again, but I couldn't make it. It was so poorly. Then they did say, right, we found a match. Oh, what a relief. I needed it because I was on a downward spiral, and I don't think there was any way back up. I think it was just a blood transfusion, the platelets would keep me alive.
DKMS sort of became involved when I then came up as a match for Peter, so it was them that sort of rang me initially, and then that just sort of started the ball rolling. It was quite a moment where you sort of sit and reflect and sort of think, if it was me and mine, I'd want someone to help me, and that was the only way I looked at it, to be honest with you. You know, it was quite emotional. I had a bit of a lump in my throat when they said that I was the match for somebody. So we came down to London, we went to the hospital, I got set up on a machine, I had to sit there for about 5 hours. There was no pain, no problems, no nothing.
So 2:20, the 24th of June, that was when I started having my donation. It's painless, and it took 40 minutes. The best 40 minutes of my life. Then after it, I received a card off my donor, Asia.
I know what he's gone through, and as far as I'm concerned, all I've done is I've just donated my stem cells. It's him that's been through the hard bits, so I really don't know what we're going to say to each other.
In my mind, Ash is an angel. She's a lifesaver, and I've thought about what am I going to say to her. I've got a list, goes on and on, but I know that'll be thrown out the window when I meet her. It'll come from there. Words can't write it.
Oh my God!
Oh, lost.
Oh.
It's so nice to meet you.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We are looking.
It's so surreal, isn't it?
It is.
I think it's very important, prime example of what's come from this now, you know. If I wouldn't have seen that appeal, I wouldn't have joined, and then possibly, well, inevitably Peter wouldn't have been here.
She saved my life. She's given my boys and girls a father. My mum's still got a son. My wife has still got a husband.
If you're in general good health, you're aged between 17 and 55, register with DKMS and become a potential lifesaver.